All right, it's James Larson broadcasting for Eastern Iowa's Real Rock. It's 94.1 KRNA. I am on the tour bus, the Filter Tour Bus. The show happening tonight at Spicoli's. I'm here with Richard Patrick. How you doing, brother?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, and you guys have played this club before. I think it was it a couple years ago?
Yeah, we did play it a couple years ago. Now we're back again for another rompus in the club.
All right, well, you're having a pretty good summer so far, and talk about the tour you're on right now. It's not just you guys, but Helmet and Local H. It's a star-studded lineup.
Yeah, it's the Anti-Folk Revival Tour in Drop D. We have kind of figured out that a lot of people are getting sick of folk music, so we've decided to turn up our amps and bring it back to the heavy alternative side of things. And to do that, we've enlisted our good friends from Helmet, Paige Hamilton and Dave and Kyle and Scott from Local H and those guys, and we're just it's awesome. Yeah. It's awesome.
So after all these years, Richard, what is it you like most about touring? You know, I travel a lot myself. There's things I don't like about the traveling, but what do you like most about being on the road on this tour bus with all these knuckleheads?
Well, it's like Keith Richards and Ronnie Wood say, we finally get some peace and quiet when we're on stage, and that's the whole thing. I'm here for the music and the fans and the shows. I mean, the shows are, it's where everything comes together, where, the rubber hits the road and where the music hits their ears, and they get to see it performed live. And I think that our performances are I think they're memorable, and I think that we have great hills and valleys in our music, and we have an hour and a half of your time to do that, so we try and do it. Yeah.
Speaking of music, let's talk about new music for you guys, the single, and elaborate on that.
Yeah, we put out a record called The Sun Comes Out Tonight, and we're still not done releasing singles from it. It's the new single is called We Hate It When You Get What You Want, and it's just about those one percenters who maybe got there the not so good way. Yeah, I'm not saying every one percenter is a bad person, because I come from a family of my dad was okay. He did pretty well, but there's some people out there that will do anything for $1, and they'll step on anyone to get there. And this is about that. This is about the crooks on Wall Street kind of thing.
All right, so you're in Waterloo, Iowa. We're an Iowa rock and roll station. You got any stories or memories from being in the Hawkeye State? I know a lot of the dates all get mixed together, but anything you think of when you come to the state of Iowa?
Potatoes.
That's Idaho.
Shit.
I think we have corn here. You might have saw some corn unless you were sleeping on the way in.
I love me some corn. No, Iowa. I think of my friends in Slipknot.
Yeah.
And I think of the amazing music they brought us. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of really beautiful Americans here, and it's always wonderful to get inside the country and really spend time with people. And I think a lot of it reminds me of the fact that out here, this is where some of the military comes from. There's a lot of the military comes from like Appalachian states or rural countrysides and stuff like that. And we're headed to Afghanistan at a certain point in time in the next 2 months to go play for the troops. And I think it's great that we can actually get to that part of the world and play for Americans as well. So we're happy being in America, playing for people who have given so much, as well as flying over to Afghanistan to play. So it's just one big glorious countryside out here, and I love it, and I love the people, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be here at Spicoli's rocking out.
All right, it's Richard Patrick, of course, from the band Filter. Now, before you go, you played a rock show for our rock station a couple years ago, 94.1 KRNA, in beautiful downtown Cedar Rapids. Weezer headlined that show, but I want to thank you for coming out. We, out of all the bands, you guys really, we had some technical issues early on in the night, but you guys came on and killed it, and people called us for weeks after that going, I never saw Filter before, but thanks for bringing them, and I want to say thanks for coming out and playing our show.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. I remember that show. we had a great time, and that's the thing. I mean, it's our relationship with radio that really has been one of the long-standing traditions in our music, is to be conscious of what's going on with radio and playing festivals and being part of the community and just doing everything we can to stay connected. And I think that, again, thanks for having us on the air, and thanks for having us play shows, and we'll always come back. We will always come back to play rock.
And last question for you. We're about to play Picture. I travel a lot on airplanes. I just want to hear, I've read the Wikipedia story, but tell me what inspired you to write that song, because I think I've been in that position you were at when you were writing that song. Great lyrics, great song, but what was going through your mind, and where were you at, and where were you traveling to?
Well, I was coming down from a very long spell of drinking and other substances, and we were headed out to California to get our gold records. Wow. From going gold on Short Bus. And from what I'm told, it turned into basically that scene from, what's that movie? What's that movie that we all like? The Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh, yeah.
Where the guy was tied to the seat.
Right.
And he was getting all up on the, it was basically that. I lived The Wolf of Wall Street. I lived the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. In fact, I read that book and tried to do that. I rented a big red Chevrolet convertible and drove from Los Angeles to Vegas, and we stayed out there for a week, and I wanted to get as many experiences that I could in my life, and that's one of the reasons why I like to go to the Mideast and play for the Troops, because I would never have gone if I was just a regular dude. And so I had a very tumultuous but incredible 20s. My 20s, I call them the Roaring 20s. And I just went crazy on an airplane, and I don't regret anything, because the life-fulfilling song that came out of it was not only kind of like a wish that could never be granted, in the sense that you can take a picture of like a scene of a picture, but you can't take a picture of the emotion. And that's really what that song is about. And it's just this massive plea to my father for some kind of recognition on my life, when I don't think he really approved of the way I was, handling myself. And yet I was still a millionaire with, all this, success and everything. So a very complicated piece of music. And I really love the fans for drawing their own conclusions onto what the song's about. I've had many people come up and tell me that it helped them with their father's passing, or maybe they, So we wrote another song that was called Surprise, and it's also on our new record. The Sun comes out tonight, and that's more geared towards motherhood or wives or whatever. Sure. But it's about how tough it can be, and so Take a Picture was just my Fear and Loathing.
Okay. Well, let's play it right now here on Eastern Iowa's Real Rock 94.1 KRNA, the song that we just talked about. And I want to thank Richard Patrick. I do have to apologize now that you're sober. I brought a beer on the bus. I apologize. Oh,
I'm not one of those squares that won't allow you to have a beer on my bus. In fact, most of my band drinks, so I don't have a problem at all.
All right. We thank him for rocking Spicoli's tonight. And as promised, Take a Picture. It's James Larson broadcasting for 94.1 KRNA.